all, thank you very much for CTEL for having me, and it is actually an honor to become one of the early participants last year. So today, maybe Bapak Ibu already knew a little bit about Active Learning Institute, so I will focus on what actually I'm doing during the class. So I will call it the Werewolf Corporate Games. That's actually the games that I created for my class, that is Database Management System. But again, as mentioned by Bu Imelda, that actually not all topic can be covered for active learning. So I choose a topic that actually may some students have confusion, but it is actually quite light. So okay. So yeah, this is actually the quote from the Richard Feynman, that actually the best teaching can be done only when there is situations which the student discuss the ideas, thinking, and sharing about the things. So one of my success parameter is that when I finish my class, the students still discuss about what's going on during the class. So that's actually my success parameter. Not ADOM, yeah, because yeah, my ADOM is actually not very good, but not ADOM. My success parameter is that actually if when students discuss about the things. So this is actually the problem of the normalizations, the hidden cost of the bad data. Imagine this: a company stores employee info in one big data, and then the manager updates number change, but the admin update only the row 1 and ignore row 2 and row 4. So that means the same name, the manager has the multiple phone numbers. So which one is correct? So that's the issue actually from the database management system. So the key message is the bad database design create confusions, inconsistency, and costly mistakes. So that's actually the background of this kind of the normalizations in database management system. So the way we usually teach is by, what is first normal form and how to procedure, finish them or address them, what is second normal form and how to address them. So that's actually the way we usually teach it. Or the last year before I participate in Ali. So this is how we cover. But the problem is that the student typically able to convert from first normal form to the third normal form. They can follow the procedure, they can follow the step, but the question is that why does normalization even matter? What is actually the function of this? Most of students actually confused about that. So the problem is students cannot see the data problem because this is actually the invisible things, invisible concept. You cannot point redundancy in a way that feel urgent until something breaks. So the problem is from this normalization, students typically memorize the rules, memorize the procedure, without understanding what actually the importance of it, without actually understanding or feel experience why do we need to normalize this data. They know how to normalize, but they don't feel why. So that's actually the issue and the background here. So what if student experience the problem? So that's actually my motivation. What if actually student experience the real problem of the messy data and they really require to normalize it? So instead of explaining data quality, what if student had to live in it? So student need to protect information, decide the uncertainty, deal with misinformation, and compete for profit. So that's actually the motivationnya. And welcome to the corporate werewolf. So this is actually my idea for these things. So the story is student becomes a member of the competing consulting companies. So there will be, because actually in this class we only have 12 students, so there will be only 2 companies. Each student will consist, each company will consist of 6 students, and its company want to maximize profit. Client continuously offer database project, and the research companies at the end wins. So there will be competing companies, client project with certain time limit. So for example, we have only maybe 10 minutes to solve this project, something like that, and one winner that is actually the fastest one and the correct one. So this is the business rules that actually I established. The first is starting capital. So each company have $50. Of course, this is the imaginary money. Yeah. Actually, I will not give actual $50. So the starting capital will be $50, and then there will be 10 total project. 8 is the possible project, 2 is the impossible project. But still, no, this is actually the standard project or the impossible project. For the impossible project, it is actually cannot be solved. So the first decision that actually before student do something, student will give a snippet of the data and snippet of the assignment, yeah. And student will be given only 2 minutes to decide they will accept the project or reject the project. If they accept the project, they need to pay $10 to tag on the tag client. If no, then yeah, you don't need to pay nothing, but you will not give any reward. So that means that students need to decide this is actually able to be solved or this is actually the impossible project, something like that. In this case, students immediately start discussing risk and reward before even touching the normalization. They will consider, oh, if we take this project, it will cost $10. Will it worth it or it will be useless, something like that. And the reward and consequence, if the correct answer, so student will be given plus $30. If no, then the student will not given that. So that means if you actually take this project and then actually get it fastest and correctly, then you will get at least a profit is $20. If you get it incorrectly or not the fastest one, you will get minus $10. So that's actually the rules. In this case, the classroom suddenly transforms, students stop assuming and they start asking each other with the real urgency. As we absolutely sure about this dependency is actually the one of the concept from the normalizations. Can we verify this before we commit to choose this project or before submit this project? What's our confidence level here to choose this project and to submit this project? So there is a discussion before even doing the normalizations. But the work is not perfect. There is no actually ideal work also for this game. So to mirror this methodology, the game introduced one critical element that is actually secret spy. So what is the spy in here? Spy is hidden participant from competing company who spread plausible information to influence the business decision. So for example, if we have two group, Group A and Group B, in the Group A, actually there is spy from the Group B that actually intend to mislead the decision, to mislead the argument, to mislead the answer. Yeah, the spy toolkit is suggest and encourage the wrong answer and then create the doubt with the answer. Is this correct? Are you really sure about this? And spread the leading logic. But again, become spy is not actually easy. Why? Because you guys actually saw it bluntly, like, oh, this is correct, the correct one is this, and this is actually fully incorrect. Of course, your friends or your company will not believe in you. So spy is not easy job that actually if we cannot actually simply give a random answer, we spy need also actually know what's going on, what's happened from these normalizations. So that's why the spy must be convincing and this for the spy to understand normalization deeply compared to others. So this is how it was going on actually during the class. So as you can see, actually students try to discuss about what it is happen and then really accept the project, and after, for example, one company actually finish the project, then they will present in front of the class about this is actually my answer, and the other companies might deny if actually they have the better answer. So that's why it will be very, student will be very active in this case, and they will really want to involve to actually emphasize the profit. And something interesting happens. So when the spike is in play, the entire dynamic of the classroom shift in exactly the right decisions. Before the game, student only like what is the correct answer, sir, and then is that the right dependencies? But after we play this kind of the game, during the game, can you prove the dependency exists? What evidence supports that? So this is actually the very crucial and important moment from the data engineer, because for the data engineer, verification over the assumptions. So evidence over the authority. So we need to talk with the evidence. We need to talk with the verification. So that's actually the basic of the data engineering. And that's why this game actually create the real world, but of course not the real world, because there is spy in our companies. Maybe there will be spy in someone, I don't know. Maybe there will be spy in our company, and we try to actually give the best answer based on from an ideal company. And this is actually the student actually learn. Of course, the technical skill is actually about the normalizations, functional dependencies, one normalization and third normalizations, and data integrity. That's actually the technical things that maybe we can also learn during the class with maybe not really maybe in the boring style. But the other thing that they will learn with this kind of the active learning is that they will learn about the critical thinking. They will criticize what actually this decision is going to the correct direction or to the wrong directions. Communications, so they need to communicate with each other. They need, the spy need to communicate convincingly, and then also not spy need also maybe communicate properly, because if no, maybe even though you are not spy, because you do not learn normalization very good, you will be considered as a spy. So that's condition also happen in my class. And the last is decision making. Again, there is a risk actually if you pay something but you cannot answer correctly, then you will lose what, minus $10,000, and you only have $50,000. If you lost actually 5 games, so your company actually can do nothing. So that's why the decision is very important in here. So this is actually classroom transformation that I expect from this class. We from the memorize the rules to the evidence-based reasoning. So that's actually the transformation that I did during this active learning things. And this is student testimonial from one of my students.
Your answers on the whiteboard to get plus points all the way to more complex ones like werewolves. I particularly remember this game because I was the werewolf at one of the games, and I did win the game by manipulating my friends to think that I was helping their team. And this helps you be aware of your understanding of the class subject, because you have to know if an answer that your friend is suggesting you is correct or not. So we're always alert, and we're always like paying attention to the concept that is taught in class to make sure that our friend's suggestions is not part of like a werewolf sabotage. It helps us remember the classes better, and it also helps us apply what we learn in class into real life things. And we remember it better because the activities are very engaging.
Okay, thank you, Myra. Okay, that's actually from my students. Believe it or not, actually, the normalization that actually the one that I encourage for the active learning actually become the, when we check the SLO and PLO, it is actually become the highest score from the others topics. And the other thing is actually, the good thing is my add-on actually from this course is quite high compared to others. So that's why actually the active learning, of course, not all the topics. There are several topics that actually we need to do a classical lecturer style, but in several style, actually the active learning will encourage students to think, encourage students to active participate, and encourage students to discuss more about the topic of the normalizations. And yeah, this is my final thought, that student really remember the definition. When I give a definition, student will not remember it, but student remember about the experience. So that's why my goal was to create a situation where students needed normalization and discover its value themselves. So maybe that's from me. Thank you very much.